And then they wake up and they're on board a UFO.
Yes, sounds like an episode of Doctor Who.
Well.
But is this story fact or fiction?
Mm.
Michael Douglas set out to discover, is the truth out there?
Most UFO sightings are little more than fast-moving bright lights in the sky. But not all. In 1992, ambulance mechanic Gary Wood and his friend Colin Wright revealed that not only had they seen a UFO, but they'd been taken on board and examined by its alien occupants.
I suppose you're in your car. Talk to me.
Could the testimony that each gave separately under hypnosis be the proof we need that aliens are already among us?
The A70, South Lanarkshire, Scotland, just 30 minutes outside Edinburgh, could be the location of one of the most significant UFO encounters in Britain.
On August 17th, 1992, Gary and Colin were driving to the village of Tarbrax to see a friend. The car had just passed Harperig Reservoir when they reported seeing, hovering around 20 feet above them, what they described as a strange, disc-shaped object.
They decided to drive underneath this hovering object, whatever it was. As the car was directly underneath, this object emitted like a heavy silver curtain of light. It just descended from beneath this object and hit the car.
Both men say they were catapulted into inky blackness, unable to see themselves or their surroundings. What seemed like seconds later they came to. In fact, an hour had passed. What might have happened to them before they regained control of their careering car?
I've interviewed many people up and down the United Kingdom, and you get to know who's trying to pull the wool over your eyes.
Okay.
These guys were sincere, absolutely.
So what did you suggest at that point?
Well, I suggested the use of hypnosis as a tool to perhaps retrieve any hidden subconscious memory that may, it's a big word, may have happened that night.
These are the actual recordings Malcolm made of both men's sessions. What they revealed was startling. Both men say they were taken from their car and led into the spaceship. Both say they were taken into a featureless room with a bright white light. Both say they were stripped and examined by the occupants of the craft.
Gary couldn't move a muscle. He was terrified. He was lying there on this flat raised table with these small creatures moving around him. He could only move his eyes. He was terrified. This thin, grey, translucent arm fell on his chest. And as that happened, he came out of hypnosis. And I got afraid. He got afraid as well.
Both men described the creatures in detail. Some had grey, translucent skin and large, black, almond-shaped eyes. These are the drawings they made of what they say they saw.
So can hypnosis be trusted? Or might there be another explanation?
One of the controversies about using hypnosis is that it can produce what's known as false memory syndrome, where people start inventing or, if you like, elaborate on the events that have happened to them, so you don't get a realistic or proper picture of what has actually taken place.
So this is them having experiences of maybe watching films or reading books and then assuming that they're their memories.
Yeah, so they produce a story which, hangs together, but doesn't necessarily represent what actually happened to them.
What else could have happened to Gary and Colin? Could the answer lie at one of the several nearby RAF bases?
MOD documents now made public reveal other UFO sightings around the same time. For instance, an aircrew on a flight from Aberdeen to Edinburgh reported seeing from the cockpit a bright light rising through the air back in December 1996.
When the One Show spoke to Gary Wood, he was reluctant to tell his story again in person, but said that everything he experienced remains the truth.
So was what happened here on the A70 a top-secret military operation, or was it a completely different type of paranormal activity? Or maybe, without any reason to lie, did Colin and Gary really have the closest of alien encounters? For now, It's a mystery that remains unsolved.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So can I just say that Matt believes there's aliens out there?
I do. Listen, when you look at how obscure life is on this planet, there's got to be other life out there, don't you?
I completely agree. I'm with you.
Honestly, do you not think there's anything
No, I
else
think there has
out
to be
there?
something, but not like little green alien.
I know, like microbes or something. Oh, there's going to be. I hope so.
Yes.
I hope so. It'd be nice.
No,
Yes.
exactly.
Of course.
Now, take a look at this.